Hello YouTube, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing doodles. And quickly here you'll see that I did a cat and a little girl. And as the video progresses, I think I'll explain why exactly I drew these doodles. Some of them are going to have a little bit more explanation, some less. I'll begin with the cat. The cat is just supposed to represent my cat. I always joke that he has a flat head, and I think it's quite funny, so I thought that would be the first thing I would draw. Little girl with the sombrero and machacas. Yeah, just cute, and I thought it'd be funny, so I added it in. This bug that, well, it already passed, but the bug that was in the video, I did multiple incarnations, I guess, different versions of him. A lot of that was edited out. I did a few other doodles, but they just didn't make in the video. Then you see the buff guy. He's like my channel icon, logo, or something. At the moment, I don't know if I'll keep him. I guess I'll leave it up to you guys. If you guys like it, I'll keep it. Or if not, I can do a different version or do something else. And then the video is kind of going quickly for me while I'm doing this editing, so it gives me a little bit of anxiety, to be honest. So I think I'll go quickly. There's the Steve. The Steve was just supposed to be a joke. He's funny. He's pointing at his arm, kind of doing the sheesh. The rock guy, or like keep rocks away, just popped into my head, and I thought it would be really funny to just add it in, somebody that has no self-restraint. So he's like locked away, and it's kind of implied like, what did he do with rocks? Why do you have to keep that away? You know, like he looks unhinged, which I feel like brings the humor in it. There's Matt Pat. He's super influential, but I think a lot of people joke on him, especially in the YouTube sphere, I guess. And I thought I'd poke a little fun in there as well. The cursed Jazza pertains to the previous video. It's when I drew Jazza pretty poorly. I really didn't like it. If you saw the previous video, you would see that I really struggled with him, so I thought I'd poke a little bit of fun on myself. So I did this cursed Jazza, a little bit of gross humor with the guy, kind of, you know, I guess licking up the little, I don't know, it's disgusting, but I thought it was pretty funny at the time, and honestly, I think it's still pretty funny. The chips was because I was eating chips at the moment, and pops into my head, boom, draw it. Then this preacher guy was a YouTube trend where there'd be an audio clip, and it was like, I'm sure most of you guys had heard it, but it's like the righteous hand of God, that audio clip. So I added that. I was thinking to myself, what else I should draw, because I really did want to make a video with just random doodles, having fun with you guys, you interacting in the comments, and yeah, just like kind of building a community for this channel. So I thought I'd do this. There's a lighthouse, and this girl laying her head down. I thought it'd be it's something that popped into my head. It was a cool addition that I thought I could add to the canvas, so I did. And then here you'll see this like Sigma male type thing, and yeah, I quickly add that in. This coming piece is going to be the Joker, originally intended to be Walking Phoenix. Sorry for the birds in the back. It was originally supposed to be Walking Phoenix, but I had a really hard time kind of capturing his likeness, and I thought, why not, you know, stray away from that a little bit and change the colors a bit, try to make a different incarnation of the Joker. And I think I did, it was an alright job, but I really would have liked, not liked, but I think if I had a higher like skill set for portraits, it would have come out a lot better. I think he still looks a bit weird, but I think with time I'll get better at that. Here I'm going to start adding in those tones. I do the tones first, and then I do the color later on in the video. Actually, a lot of this video has to do with him, because he was just such a detailed piece. And that's why later on when you see me fill out the rest of this canvas, I do one other simple drawing, and then I add one that's a little bit more rendered as well, just so that it doesn't look so jarring. I think he also is the only colored little doodle inside this video. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've drawn these. This guy, he was just a joke. I just thought, like, weird buck teeth, flat head, you know, like, I don't know, I guess there's a trend with that for my sense of humor. So I added him there. Then there's this girl. I think I saw her on a YouTube short, or if not, it was on my Instagram or TikTok, one of them. But yeah, you'll quickly see that I draw her right now, add a little bit of rendering. If you hear the audio differently, it's because I had to change locations. But as I was saying, I tend to draw the head and then the face, or I'll draw the whole body and then I'll draw the face, just for the fact that I want to do small details oftentimes, and I find that it's a lot harder for me to draw the face and then the whole body. And yeah, here you'll see that I draw her face, her hair, and I start to render that out as well. I think she has a similar resemblance to a character in Chainsaw Man known as Kobani, I believe. And it just makes me feel like maybe at some point I'll do a duet on TikTok with somebody that's doing a Kobani cosplay, because this was actually quite fun. Here's Mark Zuckerberg. There was a whole data leak. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard that before. And a lot of people poke fun at the fact that he looks kind of like an alien. So there you go. This coming drawing, this one, is just kind of like a shonen character. I don't know, a villain or a good guy, but I just thought to put a little bit of darkness and then do some hatching right there on his arm. I'm just going to finish this part up, and then I continue on with a crab. This is quite random, but this was the first thing that popped into my head. I started, there's points of imagination, ideas that kind of swirl into your mind. Sometimes you have a large amount of creativity, and sometimes it kind of runs dry. So that was the only thing I could think of, and that's what I illustrated. Here is a kind of character homage to this YouTuber called I Can't Sleep. I found them quite a bit back now at this moment, but they're a pretty good horror YouTuber. They do very short animations, and it kind of resembles early YouTube. I think a lot of their videos are uploaded like 144p. And then here you'll see that I do Shinji from Evangelion Neon Genesis. He's sitting inside a booth. It's supposed to look kind of like it's poking fun at the Amazon booths. And I forgot to mention the fish. The fish is just supposed to be something random. It's just similar to the crab in the sense of that was the only thing that could pop into my head at the moment, and that's what I illustrated. I do the fight back. I was just inspired by a lot of edits from Jujutsu Kaisen with the fight back. So I drew that. This girl coming up, you'll see that I do a Kakibara sitting right next to her. That was not intentional. It just kind of played out that way, and I thought it'd be funny as well, so I left them together. I also struggled a lot with her ears. I was debating, should I add ears or no? And I thought she looked better without them, so remove them. Here, you'll see that I do the iconic, we'll say, Lego Man. You'll know it if you saw any commercials in the early 90s. I'm sure there's probably YouTube videos out there that reference it or show the original audio clips. But it's just the YouTube guy, not YouTube. It's the Lego Man saying, hey, there's a man that's fallen into the river, save him, the small doors, big problems. That's from a Oompa video. He's reacting to, I believe, scary videos on his TikTok. He comes across one that looks like it's an elf, I think. And he says, small doors, big problems. So I illustrated that very quickly. The mushroom was from an Instagram video, I believe. And it was like, there's that little bit of text right there, you can feel your heart burning. That's part of what the video says. Then there's this guy with tattoos, and I wanted to kind of make it look like he was a founding father, but also kind of like, I don't know, like rough, like so. But he's actually inspired by a audio clip that a pretty famous TikToker made, where it's like, I pledge allegiance to the bag. And so I was listening to the audio, and that's what I came up with. The buffalo was actually just made because I started drawing random lines on the snout, and it popped into my head. I was like, this looks like a water buffalo, so quickly drew one out. Then I started thinking about animals with horns, and at that point, TikTok just showed me a clip with the Lynch from Adventure Time, and so I did my own little version of him. He kind of had his head pretty wide, so I thought I would narrow it down and then make him look a little more, well, just more my style, I guess. Then the girl with the sun lotion, she was inspired by the Kaguya-sama song. Honestly, at this moment, I don't remember exactly which intro song it was, but it was based on one of the intro songs, and the image kind of just popped into my head, and I illustrated it basically immediately once I thought of it. This is from a very old anime. It's called Speed Racer. There's a pretty infamous clip out there where his opponent drives off a cliff, and he says that line, and there's a very ear piercing scream as he goes off the edge. Then there's a chicken. That's from a clip that was sent to me of a chicken that apparently was from a like technological or it's a robot competition, and the person that submitted it had been disqualified, and I found it humorous, so I did a small illustration on it. This right here is from the Amazon show Invincible. Now, if you don't know what Invincible is, it's a pretty popular show on Netflix. I would say it's pretty similar to The Boys in some aspects, especially in violence and gore. This is the main character's dad. He's a Viltrumite, and right when I heard that, I thought of, well, you'll see how, Vegemite. That's what I thought. So I do a quick illustration right here, add a little bit of shading, rendering. You'll see I do a background as well. And this original illustration was intended to have multiple Vegemites, but I thought that it would be better if I just showed a normal background and as if he was talking to his son. You'll see right there that I tried doing a little bit of another person there, but I chose against it. I only later find out that his forearms are a bit too short for his body, but I think it really adds to the comedic humor of it all. So you'll just see that I start rendering out the background. It's supposed to be Australian background, but that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching.